So he took a step towards me. He grabbed me with his right hand. He pressed his palm into my shoulder, pushed me about 5 feet. That's when the word exchange happened, and when he released me, he went like that.
I tend to agree with you that more is not the thing. I think before I understood that there was kind of the shove off at the end, it seemed kind of to me like there was a question of, are there very defined species of control holes that can be used, or if you are holding somebody and moving them from one place to the other, whether or not you're doing it purposely just for exerting kind of force. And I think that there is some evidence here that the shove probably was not, had it happened, was not within the control hole. Is that accurate?
I think it can be nuanced, sometimes where there's confusion. As I said in the beginning, it was specifically how this allegation is stated, and the control hold, and they did that, and it would be by policy. If the question is what exactly happened, I understand where you do an analysis from.
In fairness, earlier you did mention that had the perspective of 2 officers, which conflicted with what the appellant was saying. Officer B, now I'm going to actually read, is asked whether the officer observed any physical contact with the appellant. I saw it, but I wasn't totally focused on it. I was more focused on the person that he was arrested leaning against this car. And repeated, do you recall seeing the lady's reaction when Officer A, I did not see? So the investigator didn't get a chance to complete a sentence. Next question, I did not see it. Did you actually see the point where Officer A, I did not? So I didn't focus on it, and then 2 other things very quickly, I really didn't see it. And in fairness, the person was focused on the individual that he had his custody. So rather than really having the perspective of 2 officers versus 1 person, it's really, I think, reflective of what the ladies have said here.
I would tend to agree with what May said. I mean, I think, again, we have 2 different scenarios, and so to me, it seems like not substantive adequate and solid.
I think that to me sounds right, and I'm almost there, except I kind of end up back at the standard of review, and I think we tend to feel like the best finding probably was, let's give weight equally to both of these witnesses, but I'm wondering, given some overlap in the description of what happened, if it would be unreasonable as it was somebody tried to talk me out of it.
You make 2 very good points. Number one of the things about an appeal like this is that you have the opportunity to see the appellant. And everybody's going to judge credibility and things like that based upon that interaction. The command officer does not have that ability to do that. That's number 1. Number 2, let me try to make that, especially since we have a council member here. We give hand uniformly a problem with what's called the standard of review. The command officer decides what the preponderance of the evidence indicates, 51%. That's right, on a very good point, dry paper record. We have as indicated, you see here, live testimony, okay? Sometimes very persuasive live testimony, which the command officer does not have the opportunity to observe. But then what we have to do, you'll notice that during public comment there was one, well, the evidence seems apparently in your favor. not the standard that we have to apply. Okay? If you look at the city code, it says whether the decision was supported by the evidence. You go to the definition of supported by the evidence, and now it's narrow. Who could a reasonable person have made that decision? And A, it's hard for lay people to apply that type of legal nitpicking concept on a regular basis, number one. Number two, I can guarantee you 90% of the accountants don't understand it. And number three, the question is, if you really want true independent police review, shouldn't your independent police review be reviewing under the same standard that the initial command officers did? Thereafter, there's agreement, it goes to council, is what the code says. So if you hear other points being ever made about the standard review, you've heard firsthand exactly how an appellant, for example, could walk out of here feeling really dissatisfied when in point of fact, the CRC is applying the code as written. Maybe not the way they would prefer to see it, but as written. Is that a fair statement, folks?
Yes.
Yeah. That is my kind of wavering on it, but I do think that seeing your description, which is very hard to grasp from the interview, which, I mean, twice you kind of had to say, let me show you, which is far more helpful than the interview transcript, which is all the commander had. Anyway, somebody can make a motion for it. Always.
I'll make a motion that we challenge the findings and instead not sustain the debriefing.
I will second that motion. I think you made a valid point. I think the reasonable person standard really does complicate this. Maybe being liberal in my willingness to look at it differently, because the commander was offered up that was just as, like, that it was a very tough call between the two. And so I think a reasonable person could have come to either conclusion, which is why I think what led me to second it. I don't know if that it falls under our purview, but I am seconding the motion.
Is that even legal now?
Aye.
Aye.
Being already with people pass no matter what I do, I think that so clear about you don't have to be correct.
That's correct.
This is a spot where I do think that what the commanding officer had is so different from what we have, and I can see how a reasonable person, maybe not, and I understand reasonable people, but a reasonable person could have found that it's done.
I know that they only have, the commander only has to go off what was in the paper, but on paper it does say that the appellant said, the police officer grabbed me and pushed me like really hard, like not pushed me, like the point that I was falling, like he pushed me and pushed me. So in this, it is in there, and I understand. I can understand